Dr. Matheson, please call the operator. Dr. Matheson, please call the operator.
Sam Stanley. He gave Jerry a ride home today. What happened?
Accident. Witnesses said he went right through a guardrail and a sign, road closed, bridge out. Sam was the best wheelman in the post. I can't figure it. It's like he was blind or something.
Poor Sam. Everybody thought he was a hard-nosed lifer, but he wasn't.
Did he drink?
Not even a beer. David, he just said that it was as if Sam was blind. Could that have anything to do with what happened to Jerry?
Carrie, can you get home all right?
Are you coming?
There's something I want to do first.
Good morning, Major.
Good morning, sir.
Well, you don't look as if you got much sleep last night, Major.
Colonel, I didn't get any sleep last night.
Oh, sit down then. Sergeant Merklin, a drink for the Major?
No, thank you. I don't want to drink. Have you heard about Lieutenant Banks?
Yes, he crashed through a glass door and cut himself up pretty badly. A nasty accident.
He said he was blind before the accident. And a half hour later, Sergeant Sam Stanley drove his truck off the top of Eagle Mountain. Now, I'm not stupid enough to believe that these two incidents are unrelated.
Sergeant Merklin?
Sergeant Sam Stanley was filling in on a disposal detail yesterday. He transported his last load approximately 20 hours. Lieutenant Banks was in the truck with Sergeant Stanley hitching a ride home.
So you see, there were only two people involved in the problem.
Problem? One man is dead and another dying.
Well, we can't be certain of that,
Oh,
Major.
yes, we can. The laboratory animals exhibited the same symptoms. Blindness, deterioration of the nervous system, and death. We've got to find out how those two men were exposed.
One of the X-202 empty canisters was thrown away along with the material that was marked for disposal. It wasn't quite empty. The non-com who was responsible has been transferred to one of our research units in Greenland as a private.
Do you plan to ship Stanley's remains and Banks to Greenland?
I expect that you will use all the skills at your command to help Lieutenant Banks.
Then we need to double our research staff.
Will additional personnel help you find the antidote sooner?
Well, I can't be sure.
Well, how long has Lieutenant Banks got?
4 days, maybe less.
Well, Major, you were here working on the gas a long time before I took command, so it seems to me that the X-202 is your responsibility. Now, I'll be glad to assist in any way I can with this incident.
I understand, sir. As long as no one else finds out about any of this.
We're both career Army
I
officers.
said I understood, sir.
Yeah, well, see, I never asked to command this chemical research post, but you know my problem with Washington. Now that I've finally served my penance, I expect to get that general star. Now, I'm leaving in 6 weeks, and I don't want anything to delay that departure. I've got a job for you, Sergeant.
Who is it?
It's David.
David, I just heard the nurses talking. Sam Stanley's dead, isn't he?
Yes, I'm afraid so, Jerry.
I only got bits and pieces. Something about a big warning sign, and then through a barrier. Is that true?
Apparently.
I fall through a glass door and Sam drives off a cliff. Contagious blindness?
What else then, Jerry? You and Sam were together yesterday. Now, did you come straight home from the base?
The yellow canister. David, it has to be it. The canister was leaking.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Sam and I dropped some gear off at the dump. One of the canister's valves was damaged, leaking. I thought it was just reserve aerosol.
What else could it have been? Jerry, if whatever was in that yellow canister made you and Sam blind, then we have to tell somebody in authority.
It would take us a week. The military's structured that way. You get by one guy and make it to another guy and so on. It's murder. Besides, nobody's going to listen without some kind of proof. Research people don't like to admit they've made a mistake.
Your doctor will listen.
I tried to tell Major Anderson I was blind before the accident. He told me I was confused. Look, David, Army doctors are still in the Army, just like me. They got to follow the chain of command like everybody else, and that means red tape. David, you've got to help. If you could find that canister, then they have to listen.
But how?
I could get you through the guard post, one phone call. I know it's a lot to ask, but you're the only one I can ask.
I'll do what I can, Jerry.
I'll call security. And you better stop back at the house. There's a gas mask in the garage. And don't tell Carrie. Not yet.
All right.
And David? Thanks. Operator, this is Lieutenant Banks. Get me security.